Today, I'm going to show you 12 signs that show you are a classy, elegant, and well-mannered person. Hi, I'm Juliana Santiago, a teacher and etiquette consultant. And in today's video, we're going to talk a little more about what you actually do that makes people look at you. And they get that feeling and interpretation. This person is refined, this person is elegant, this person is polite. What can you actually do so that people have that impression of you as well? Many times you seek this. You want to be seen as an elegant, polite, refined person. And you want to show and build this personal image, but you don't know how. So today I've picked out 12 signs that you can apply in your daily life. And this will make people have that impression of you. The first point is knowing how to listen. An elegant person, a polite person, knows how to wait, and she knows how to wait in every sense, including waiting for the other person to finish speaking. So unfortunately nowadays, even because of the rush, the hectic routine that we have, many times when we meet with other people, and there will be a social moment, being in a conversation circle, ever feel like there's a struggle over who speaks first? Have you ever had that feeling of being in a group and everyone talking? It seems like people are kind of desperate to talk. And that's really not an elegant attitude. So knowing how to listen and knowing when to speak is a practice that will really set you apart. So be very careful. You don't need to go around talking. Wait for the other person to speak, to finish what they have to say. Wait for them to finish their thoughts. Then you can come in with your comments, your observations, your questions, your inquiries. Avoiding gossip and comments is also something that will make you a classy person. You know when you can tell someone something because they won't go around telling other people. That's the feeling we need to be able to convey to other people. And how are we going to do that? By being extremely discreet when we see situations that could turn into gossip, For example, did you notice a friend drank too much? Then, that friend who comes into the group the next day and says, "Wow, guys, Maria drank too much." That already puts you in the position of being a gossip, right? So Maria, she's going to feel uncomfortable because sometimes she didn't want other people to know about the situation she was in or what she went through at that moment. They're going overboard with drinking. And from the moment you tell everyone about it, you're, spreading gossip, you're exaggerating. When you expose people like that, it might even be funny for those who hear about it. And sometimes your friend Maria, who drank too much, she might not even care. But it could be that she, as I said, wants to keep that more private. She wouldn't want others to know about that. When you end up reporting something that happened to her, she will start to see that attitude of yours as negative. So like when someone does something that could be shared with the group and you keep it a secret, that makes you become a classier and more elegant person in front of other people. For example, you know that you have a friend in the group who is getting divorced, or you heard that an acquaintance is getting divorced. From the moment you go there and tell other people that you think that's going to happen, that she's having problems in her relationship, that already makes you someone who spreads information. And then people, they naturally, many times they don't even tell you that. And often they don't even realize they've put you in that position. They put you in the place of a gossip, in the place of someone they can't trust, because they know you're always passing information along, because you share a lot of information. So you have to be very careful with that. Treating everyone equally is something that naturally makes you a classy person. Arrogance, for example, in the way you treat people who are sometimes at a lower social level than you. That's something that's not accepted. It's not well regarded, right? That person who goes to a restaurant and wants to mistreat the waiter, wants to treat people as inferior, wants to treat the doorman arrogantly. The person at the gym, right? The gym receptionist walks by and doesn't even greet that person there. Be very careful, because sometimes in your mind, even your indifference, right? Sometimes you're like, oh, I don't even remember to greet those people. I don't even remember to treat the waiter well. Sometimes even your indifference already puts you in that position of someone who has no class, who isn't elegant. An extremely elegant person treats everyone the same way. She is kind to everyone, regardless of their social status, color, or any other variable, right? That's something we need to highlight. And like it's 2025, guys, we really can't accept this anymore. Those issues there, treating people differently, so don't do that. And who does that, or sometimes not, has the habit of treating people who are there, especially to serve you in a kind way. Start doing it, because the other people close to you, your peers, your friends, they notice how you treat other people. People observe just like you do too. Let's treat everyone well and continue like this, avoiding indifference and arrogance. Showing patience is also something that makes you a very classy person. Patience, right? It's a trait that shows emotional control. So for example, someone is at your house and they broke a glass. Are you going to start arguing with them right there? No, from the moment you know how to handle that situation right there, you don't show that you got upset. You show that it's just a glass. That shows emotional control. Of course, this is a simple situation. But for example, when your child throws a tantrum right in front of you, I know showing emotional control is hard, especially with kids. I understand. But especially in public, we need to try to have that patience and have that emotional control so we're not seen in a negative way. Often it's simply our attitude towards someone else. When we're starting to become friends, when we're starting to get to know someone, that can make them form an impression of who you are. And that impression can be completely different from what you want to convey. So working on that control and patience will be something very positive. For you who want to have more class, having a sense of humor will also help you a lot to be more classy, especially when you're in a situation where you don't feel very comfortable. Let me explain it better. You know when someone asks you a question, for example, wow, are you pregnant? And then you don't want to answer because you just gained a little weight. So having a sense of humor in this situation is better. It's better for you to answer. No, I really did gain weight. Wow, it's obvious that I gained weight. Wow. So that helps you get out of offensive questions and makes you more flexible. You know when someone asks you something you don't want to answer. For example, someone comes up to you and asks, wow, are those earrings you're wearing real jewelry? You can then ask, what do you think? Tell me here, what's your opinion? Being able to laugh at yourself is something that will really help you get out of these situations and handle any kind of context very well. I think it's really good for you to try to laugh it off, because that also shows that you have emotional control. Now, if you want to know how to get out of any kind of situation, you already know you need to subscribe here. On the Etiquette e Protocolo channel, every week we have content for you about etiquette, behavior, personal image, and much more. Don't forget to like this video. Have you liked it already? Like this video here, so I know you enjoy the content, that you like the topic of this video. And of course, you're a classy person, right, guys? Because classy people appreciate the content produced by YouTube channels here, right? Did you see a video you liked? It's very polite, it's very classy. Give it a like. So don't forget to like and follow me on other social media too. At Etiquette and Protocol, staying calm during discussions is also something that will really make you stand out. I know there may be situations where you really can't have that control, but if you noticed here, even from the other points I mentioned in this video, emotional control and patience help you avoid conflicts. So every time you manage to get out of a conflict in a safe and precise way, it will really help you learn how to deal with that situation. And those who watch you, who see that situation, think, wow, she could have fought with the other person, but she solved it. She decided to handle it well. She chose to deal with it in the best way, and she managed to act the right way. Now, comment below if you've ever been through a difficult or delicate situation where you didn't know what to do, something that really left you lost. Who knows? Maybe I'll come back here to record a video with suggestions and tips, right? So we can evaluate situations you've experienced. Comment below because I want to know your opinions and your comments. It's really important here for the channel so we can have this exchange. And I always bring relevant topics and help you however I can. Knowing how to give compliments and receive them is also something that makes you a very classy person. You know when someone comes up to you and says, wow, what a beautiful necklace, and you say, oh, this necklace was so cheap. Or I bought this necklace at that little shop over there, that little shop. Don't downplay the things you have and the things you wear. There's no need to belittle your things. Whenever someone compliments you, whether it's about your appearance, something you're wearing, or something you said, just say thank you. Sometimes we have this habit where someone comes up to us and says, wow, you look so beautiful. And we're like, oh, really? Oh, wow. We don't know how to accept compliments, so we're afraid of seeming arrogant. There's nothing wrong with saying thank you. Wow, thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it. That makes me happy. Don't be offended when you receive compliments, and don't be shy about complimenting other people, okay? So, of course, we need to give a compliment that's appropriate. For example, you're going to go up to someone and say, wow, you've lost so much weight. So we need to be a little careful with that because sometimes the person might be going through a health issue or a difficult time, and that's why they lost a lot of weight. So we have to be careful with certain comments. But for example, if you see a friend of yours and you think she looks really beautiful, wow, Maria, you look so good today. You look so beautiful. That outfit looks great on you. How are you? Wow. You're radiating positivity. Don't hesitate to give compliments. It's polite and people appreciate them. Just like you enjoy receiving compliments, other people like to receive compliments too. Being punctual and respecting commitments is also very classy. Unfortunately, people in our country often arrive very late to events. So sometimes we schedule an event for noon and people will arrive at 12:40, 1 o'clock. They take a long time and are often late. But if you want to become a classy and elegant person, pay attention to the event times and always try to arrive at the scheduled time. Be attentive and really stick to the schedule so that people see that you value the invitations you receive. Having table manners is also something that will make a big difference. I always say here on the channel that knowing how to behave at the table is what really sets apart people who know etiquette from those who don't. Many times you ask yourself, wow, do I really have good behavior? Probably at the table you make several mistakes because the table is really something we don't practice often. We don't have access to content about table etiquette in schools. Often at school we learn to be good and respect others. Of course, not in every school and not in the way we would like, but at school, these are things we learn. I have daughters and they learn this at school, but they don't learn about table etiquette. That's why this really sets apart people who have class, who are elegant, who know about etiquette from others. That's why, if you've never taken a course on table etiquette and you're at a mature stage of your adult life, then you need to have control over your behavior to know if the way you act is correct. And what should you do in this regard? Join the individualized education program Table Etiquette Training, a fast, simple, and practical session. In a short time, you will really be able to learn and identify the adjustments that need to be made so that your behavior at the table is always correct and appropriate. By clicking on the QR code that's appearing here on the side, you'll go straight to our website. And there's a special discount for you who follow me here on YouTube, okay? If you want, you can also click on the first link that's here in the video description, which will also take you to the website with the discount already applied. I want to have you as a student at our school, and I don't want you to make any more mistakes at the table. And obviously, a classy person doesn't brag, right? So she doesn't go around talking about her personal achievements or about the things she has or possible acquisitions she's made, right? For instance, if you buy a new purse, there's no need to tell everyone. For example, you landed a new client at work, an important client, or, important people in your city. You don't need to go around bragging about it. That's totally arrogant and inappropriate. Classy people are discreet. That's the key to being a classy person. So always remember that, discretion. Another point is that classy people don't correct others in a humiliating way, you know? The person who always corrects a friend like that. In a group conversation, a friend, for example, someone said something inappropriate, and this person has a habit of speaking like that. Wow, what you did was terrible, girl, to a friend. Stop doing that. That's not cool. If you think your friend crossed the line, did something that wasn't appropriate, you should address it privately. Correcting someone in front of a group is totally unnecessary. As I mentioned before, discretion is the soul of the matter. For those of you who want to be classy, this will help you a lot, okay? In fact, there are some questions that the classy person should never ask. I've already made a video about this, which I'll leave here for you to watch. Click here to stay informed. I'll wait for you.